Rob Stone, 2 damn phones, Babylon can't crack the code.
Welcome to B-MoneyTrading. This is Q&A Wednesday. Almost forgot. Sorry I didn't post the video up for this morning. Just had a really busy morning. It was my son's birthday, so we were kind of celebrating that this morning before I had to go to work. So with that said, today you see the SPY had issues again today. It was selling off. It hit this 270 area, was able to break below it, but then it wasn't able to close below it. And so looking to see it rebound tomorrow and test this 274 area. I don't know if it'll be able to break it or not, but I believe it will test it. But those are just my thoughts and my analysis on the market, what I believe it's going to do. Doesn't mean it'll happen, but we'll see tomorrow. And with that said, starting out with Q&A Wednesday, I'm going to try and make this quick as possible. Starting the timer for 7 minutes. It may go a little longer than that, but here we go. So with Q&A Wednesday, one of the most common questions for someone that's new learning to trade, which we see here on Trading Group, basically someone that's new and they're wanting to know what's the best way to learn. And I totally get that, because basically a little history about my trading and how it all started up. Basically, I work for one of the big 3 major automakers in the United States, and I was on a job, and I do this job day in, day out, and I make good money. Don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful for the money I make, but with the excess income I have, I thought, there's got to be a way for me to have some type of passive income that I can put my money somewhere and it continue to generate more. Because yeah, I do have my PSP with the actual brokerage, but I still had extra income money that I play with, buying toys, motorcycles, whatnot. And so I looked at different areas of ways to make money, and that's how I came across trading. And so I started up with Nadex binary options. And after doing that for about a week, I learned really quick that this was gonna be a lot harder than I thought. And basically, I got my butt kicked just in that week, and it was an eye-opener. And so I decided that I was going to take an online trading class, and so I ended up signing up for Warrior Trading, and I took it's about, I think, like 3-month class. I did 2 months. On the 3rd month I ended up opting out of the class and just put it on hold. And so I went through the class, and basically the things that I learned in that class I could have learned online on YouTube. The only thing is that I didn't know what to ask. I didn't know what I needed to know. Basically, that's kind of what helped me come up with the idea to generate this YouTube channels, because there are a majority of things that you learn taking these online classes. It's just a simple matter of you don't know what you need to know. You don't know what to ask in order to know it, if that makes sense. And so so I took that class. I started trading, ended up opening up a Sure Trader account. I did I think Robinhood while I was still doing that class, and then once I had finished, the last month I ended up opting out. I still had my paper trading account and all that, and I was doing Robinhood on the side and trying to learn how to apply some of those things. But having under 25,000, you can't really day trade in that class. It was focused on day trading and certain strategies, and then there was another portion of swing trading. And so once I finished that class, I opened up a Sure Trader account. I put, I don't know, I think it was like 1,500 in there or something like that. And so I would make money, and I'd have some good wins and some losses and back and forth. But ultimately, at the end of the day, at the end of the month, end of 3 months and 6 months, my losses would always outweigh my wins, and I would get on streaks to where I'd be making good money. But the problem was I wasn't ever able to be consistent enough to hold on to it. And so after doing that for a bit, I got out of Sure Trader, went back to Robinhood for a little bit, And then I started doing TradeNet, and I did like their beginner program and did like their classes, which was basically the same stuff that I already learned from doing warrior trading. And really the reason why I went in on TradeNet was to get their funded program, which basically is basically you put in X amount and they'll give you X amount worth of buying power. And with TradeNet, it is CFD trading. And so you're not actually trading stocks, it's more like contracts between you and whatever clearinghouse or broker that they use. And basically I was just doing that to get a better, more practice, more screen time, because there's no substitute for screen time. I'm all for paper trading, but the only problem is not paper traded, made a killing paper trading, because the deal is when I was paper trading, there wasn't any emotions, no fear, no greed, no panicking, no impatience, because it was fake money. And so there's really no substitute for the real deal. You can only practice so much. And so yeah, I could make oodles of money paper trading, but when it came down to live money, then that's when the psychology kicks in and you get in your own head, and sometimes you become your worst enemy. You get in a winning trade and you want to sell so bad that you literally have to sit on your hands, because that it's going to keep going, that there's still more. And then, eventually you'll start scaling out and you learn different techniques, but these are things that are you can easily learn a majority of it on YouTube. And people say, well, you see these ads that pop up. Sometimes, if you're subscribed to whatever trading vlog or whatever, then, during the videos there'll be an ad, for like Jason buying picks, or now there's another guy that's came out. And basically, anybody that I talk to that, I reach out to them and say, hey, just come check out this channel. I don't want them to have that impression that I'm sitting here giving you calls, trade this stock, or I'm looking, like this is just me and my experience and what I've learned, and hopefully I can help save you some money along the way from your journey of learning how to trade. And the things that I did wrong on my journey to learning, it's been a little over 2 years now. I could give you an exact date if I wanted to look back. I still have my Nadex account. I haven't traded it in forever, but if you want exact dates, yeah, I could pull it up and give you an exact date from when I placed my first trade in that account to give you exact start time of when I started trading. But basically, one of the biggest mistakes that I made though, starting out trading, was I was in too big of a hurry. And I found, that it was easier to make excuses rather than to face reality that I needed to study more. I needed to trade with less money and take smaller position sizes, learn more about risk. See, that's already 7 minutes. That was crazy. But basically, I needed to learn so much more, and I was in such a hurry that it was because it was exciting. It was something different. It was just a whole new challenge. And to be honest, this is one of the toughest things I've embarked on in my entire life, trying to be successful at it. And so I would have spans through Trading with Sure Trader, Robinhood, and I'd follow like Average Joe Trader. I did his chat room. I did Zozo Stockwatch chat room. Also, what else have I done? Then TradeNet, they had their own little chat room. Basically, I got out of TradeNet and went back into Sure Trader for a little bit. Did all right, but basically was spinning my wheels and then started losing money. So I just went ahead and just closed that account. And so went back to Robinhood and decided that I'm gonna have to learn how to form my own strategy according to where I'm at with the rules. The fact that I can't, I have the PDT rule enforced upon me, and I've learned that's going to cost me more money in the long run trying to get around from it rather than investing in some good quality stocks and some good, anywhere from short to midterm trades. Now the weed stocks that I'm holding, those are more for a long-term trade. But basically, I had to learn that through compounding, through adding on each week, and buying some good decent stocks that in time, I would get over the $25,000 count. And truth be told, if I would have been patient and taken it little by little, instead of jumping in and not even testing the water, just jumping straight in, and then finding out how cold the water was, and once it was too late, looking back, hindsight's 2020. If I would have just taken it slowly, trade small positions with Robinhood, continue to study, focus more on risk management, more than anything risk management. I can't enforce that enough. Risk management. You hear people talk about, yeah, everybody knows the risk to reward ratio and what's a good reward to risk ratio, but how do you enforce it? How do you apply it? And you never hear a whole lot of people talk about diversifying your stocks, your portfolio. People hear that and they think, oh, you're talking about investing. You're not talking about swing trading. You're talking about investing and this and that. And no, it's about really, for me, I've had to learn how to develop a type of trading that works for me. And it's nothing unique. I'm sure there are plenty of people that trade the same way I'm trading today. The stock market's been around for a long time. And so I seriously doubt that there's going to be some strategy that's never been done, or heard of or whatever, but yet people sell these programs and you buy into them, and there's the basic, the basic patterns, the opening range breakouts, the bull flags, bear flags, double tops, double bottoms, head and shoulders. Like there's all these, patterns and technical analysis and stuff, but you never really learn through these groups as far as like reading the balance sheet, and the fundamentals and how the market takes them in and whatnot. And so lately, that's one of the things that I've focused on learning as far as reading balance sheets and what people are looking at. Because when you trade, even though you may be day trading or you may be swing trading, you have to keep in mind there's other people there that are doing totally different strategies, that are long-term investing, that are hopping in and out of trades, that are scalping, that are swing trading this. There's just so many different, and so you have to take that in account when you trade. And there's people shorting it on top of it versus going long, and what side of the market are you on? And so it can get somewhat complex, but the best thing that I could recommend as far as learning how to trade is there's a lot of resources out there that are free. That's what really inspired this YouTube channel, was to help new traders help their pocketbook, hopefully a lot, so that they don't end up spending as much as what I did trying to learn how to trade. And I do okay. I'm not, this year I started out and I had a really good start to the year. Was up a little over $1,000, and this was with trading stocks. This wasn't even doing options. I've had good returns with options as well, but ultimately it all comes back down to learn how to manage risk. And if you don't know how to manage risk, you can have a great trade, make lots of money on it, but then within the next day, 2 days, or a week, you've given it all back and then some. And that's kind of why I'm harsh on people whenever they post on these chat groups, show your gains, because you'll see them post that one day and you won't see it for a long time after that, and my hat goes off to the people that post, that like are open and post their losses as well, because those are learning experiences, and I think those are gonna be more valuable than the actual gains. I learn a lot more from a loss than I do from a win. You know what I mean? So I prefer to make money versus losing it, but that's what they talk about, creating a trading journal or trading log, and journaling. What you're looking at, why you're looking at it, what your game plan is, and there's just so many things, and I don't want to just spit it all at you at once, but this is kind of giving you some of my story and how I got into it and where it's led me. And so anyone that watches this, I don't want them to think like I'm the master of trading, or I'm breaking in the dough or whatever. I'm just saying these are things that I've learned that can save you money. These are resources that I had to ask and watch different people on YouTube and their channels and find out that were available. And so there are a lot of, free resources out there to help you learn. My best advice though is to start small, aim small, miss small. Don't be in a big hurry to make money, because you're more than likely going to lose. And they say for the average new trader, anybody taking on trading, it takes the average trader 18 months to get around the learning curve. And that's just to get around the learning curve. That's not even to be profitable yet, like consistently profitable. I've been profitable, but then, I've been profitable for, 6 months straight, up in profit. But then all it takes is a bad month, and it wipes out all those, all that time that you've been, and it takes a toll on you. And sometimes you have to question, is this, really for you? At what point do I, there were times I'd go to my girlfriend and I'd say, at what point do I just give up, because I've lost X amount of money, and this is quite a bit of money. And she would think, bless her soul, she'd sit there and tell me, I'm not going to tell you to give up. I'm not going to tell you to quit. And she's been supportive in my trading, and I think I'm very blessed to have someone in my life like that is so supportive and is there to pick me up whenever I've had a tough day on the market. So basically, after going through all this journey with the day trading, swing trading, and all these things, I've learned that there is no substitute for screen time. There is no substitute for the emotions that you feel when it's your money, your hard-earned money, that you have wrapped up. You can paper trade and you can learn how the market moves, and you can learn a lot from it, but once it becomes live money, it's a totally different ball game. It's like playing a scrimmage, whether it's baseball or football or whatever, versus playing a championship, football match or baseball or whatever. So with that said, I'm trying to make this video short. My best advice is to start small beyond anything. If you can be profitable with whatever you're, and don't invest any more than what you're comfortable losing. But even like you put in $100 and you say, all right, I'm putting this $100, and consider it tuition fee to learn. That's one of the best things I've heard. I listen to Chat with Traders is one of the things that I'd listen to on YouTube. Chat with Traders. Also, there's some people that I've been kind of reaching out to. I sent them a thing of a channel that I watch, and there's no affiliation with it whatsoever, but they just put motivational stuff up there that helps keep me inspired and motivated to continue on this journey and get me pumped up. But basically, like I was saying, you put in $100, have realistic expectations. Don't think you're gonna put in this 100 and turn around and make, double it or whatever. You see people do this. They put in 100, they buy an option or two, and they're new and they're just basically gambling. They, double their money or triple whatever on these options, and then they think, man, if I was put more in, and then they do it again and take another option, and they end up losing some, if not all of it, or most of it, and then then it hits them, okay, this is not a strategy. And see, that's the whole deal. People tend to forget that are new, that you can have a big win from time to time, but you need to have a strategy, because you're not looking at how much you made today. You're looking at how much you're consistently making over the course of whatever time frame you're looking at, 6 months or a year. And that's what I had to eventually come to the terms of, is that, I've been like close and on the verge of like going into a new territory with my trading, but close doesn't make you consistently profitable. And so I had to look back and look at my risk management and how was I managing my risk, because I could make good money for a month, 2 months, 3 months, give a little bit back but still be in profit, and then make some more for another 2-3 months, and then I would just have one bad month and it would wipe it all out. So with that said, the best way to learn would be just basically reading, getting on YouTube, um, open up a small Robinhood account, put $50 or $100, whatever, you feel like is okay, and buy, even Ford's a decent company and their shares are going for pretty cheap right now. I think it's like what, $9.50 or something. Pull it up really quick. This video has gone way past 7 minutes, but it's Q&A Wednesday, so we'll make an exception. But yeah, $9.53. You can buy, or $9.54 is showing up here. You can buy a share of Ford, and so you put in $100 and buy 10 shares. Now I don't recommend dumping all your money into one stock, but maybe buy 4 5 shares of Ford, and there's some other good companies out there. You have to look for them, but there's some good companies out there, decent companies, that you could buy a few shares of them, and look at the market, what people are looking at. For me, one of the things that I found that taught me a lot was just watching other traders on YouTube and how they're trading, searching support and resistance, searching, different stuff, that I'd hear people talking about on these groups, trading groups as well. I joined a chat room. I think chat room I was paying around the holidays. You can get like a special, and even if it's just for a month, it's a learning experience, and so I definitely recommend it. Maybe like as a Christmas present to yourself or something. Just buy like a 1 month subscription. You can do it like I did. I'd use PayPal and buy a 1 month subscription to Average Joe Trader or Zozo or somewhere, and then I would cancel the auto renewal, and so it'd only pay for that 1 month, and then when it came time to renew it, it would just go ahead and cut off my subscription, and just to get that experience. Part of learning how to trade is the only way to learn how not to make bad investments is by making bad investments. And so you just have to take that in consideration. And that's why I say start off with a small account. And if you can be profitable with $50 or $100 and show some consistency, then maybe you'll get a little bit more comfortable with, adding a little bit, each week, $10 out of each check or $20. And, but I remember like when I just started trading, I would take, a $20 loss, and I'd be like, oh, that's just horrible, I just, it hit me, it impacted my emotions so much. And now like, I've taken, $100, $200, $300 loss, and it's like, oh, that sucks, but I know I'll make it back. And so, even today, we'll go ahead and pull up where I'm at. So today, you can see basically I lost $64, somewhere on there, just on average, and so that's not too bad, right? And you're thinking, yeah, that's, $64, that kind of sucks. But if you look at my weekly, I'm down a little over 12%, which now I'm starting to feel the pain. It's almost $300. Now I end up adding onto my positions today. I talked about it in my video yesterday that I didn't want to add any more money into this account until Friday, because I was trying to only do it on Fridays, but there were opportunities, and so like on I added because it got super cheap per share, that I added, I believe it's 4 shares at $24 a share, and you can see that it's up at 25, 27. And so I saw the opportunity, and I was just like, I have to take advantage. It's not that I didn't have the money. I don't have the money. It's just I'm trying to stick to certain rules and guidelines. And so I kind of like broke a rule today and added money to my account again to take advantage of this opportunity to get in. And so on those 4 shares, I'm up, but you can see I had 8 or 7. I'm sorry, it's been a long day. 7 shares prior to that, and so and put my average at 26.33, so I'm still down a little over 4% on this trade, but that's the whole deal about diversification and your portfolio, as well as it's making up a little over 13.5% of my portfolio right now, and that's not bad. I'm okay. It's looking at this, it's like I'm only down 12, almost $12. So it's like now don't get me wrong, it adds up. Now just being down like $12, and then you think, if I'm down, just on average $15 on each of these trades, yeah, it adds up. But actually, I'm down more than that on some of these. But I end up adding to I, and I added to CGC, which it had a horrible day. That was probably some of the big news today. As well, the big news for the day is that Warren Buffett bought, I forgot how many shares of JP Morgan. He's looking at the financial sector and investing in it. So I added to CGC. Now this one, you can see I'm down quite a bit, almost $75, which is making up close to 20%. 20% loss is not good. Not even gonna lie to you. It's getting to the point that really starting to feel the pain on this trade. I know though, on the long-term horizon, which I was looking at the chart today, that it'll pay out. And so, I'm okay. I got $414.85 wrapped up into this one trade, and I'm okay with it. It's making up a little over 15% of my portfolio. As the account grows, I need to start doing a little bit better balancing the diversification to try and equalize the percentage. Now in TQQQ, that's my big trade that it's making up like a quarter of my portfolio, and that's I'm okay with that. That is, I believe, something that'll pay out, even though like the tech sector is having issues. People are talking about Apple, and they think that that's it for it. Me, I have faith in Apple. They always seem to, in due time, come out with something that grabs everyone's attention, that is on its totally different playing field that no other tech company has thought of or is doing. And so still holding on to that one. Only have one share of it, and I'm down a few bucks in it. Got in like at $200, so I'm down like around $13, 12 something. And then obviously it's been red day, but that's all right. So this is just part of trading, that you have to take the good, the bad, and the ugly. And right now it's getting pretty ugly, but I'm just watching the overall market. And go ahead and pull up the SPY again. And so like I said, just watching this 270 area, looking for it to rebound tomorrow, and hopefully we'll start getting some type of bearish signs that we're gonna start trending up, but only time will tell. Just looking at keeping an eye on each of my positions that I'm holding, and looking at at what point am I gonna have to take the loss on it. So with that said, I guess that's gonna kind of wrap up Q&A Wednesday. I hope that's helped some people, those that are kind of curious about like my background and whatnot. I just try and be straight, open, and honest with you, that this is what I've learned, this is what I've gone through, learning how to trade. And if I would have just taken it easy and slow and just studied and taken, small account, took small positions, which means I would have taken small losses, then, would be way above where I'm at now. And I would have saved myself a lot of money in the process. The class I took, I ended up spending a little over $2,000. I think if I would have done that last month, it would have been about like another $1,000. But that's when I'd finally decide to opt out, because it really wasn't. I got the bulk of the course, and that I didn't feel like it was teaching me anything else that I couldn't, learn on YouTube. And so, this has just been my experience. I hope that it helps somebody out there. It might not help everybody, but hopefully it helps somebody. And I'm not here to sell anything or to sell some pipe dreams that you can turn 500 into 50,000 within a year. Like, it is possible, but you gotta keep in mind, people that are able to do that, they've been trading for multiple years and have the resources for market data and trade ideas and scanners and all these like above and beyond top notch top shelf assistance, I guess would be a word to put it. Sometimes I'm lost for words whenever I'm streaming. I don't know why. Still new to this, so anyhow, I guess be up early tomorrow to see what the market does, and I'll make a video before I go to work tomorrow. Probably just a real quick one. I think this one's probably been way too long. So anyhow, this is where I'm at. Learning to trade is tough, and you're going to take losses, and it's going to take time getting comfortable with certain losses. Now, I know I said I was going to wrap it up, but I'll tell you this, and then I'm going to shut it down. So normally back in the day, for me to be down, 65, $70, whatever, I'll be like, oh, I gotta get, I'll be panicking, but because of what I've learned through experience, I don't have everything wrapped up in this one stock, because if I had everything wrapped up in just one stock, then yeah, I would definitely be panicking. But I've learned through trial and error that there's a reason why that it's not recommended to put your whole portfolio into one stock, because that one stock can take you out quick. That's not very good risk management. I've seen stocks tank. Throw this out there: if you trade natural gas, D-gas or U-gas, every Thursday morning they come out with a report, and so you'll see it spike or drop. Those two, they're ETFs for natural gas. D-gas, I believe, is the inverse for natural gas, and U-gas is, the bullish. D-gas is the bearish. And so, tomorrow morning, if you're up, and I think it's at Central Standard Time, 9:30, that they come out with the reports, you're going to see it either shoot up or shoot down. And so that's one of the things that you gotta learn. That's why, it's very important that you research and learn things like this. And for the new trader, these are things that I wouldn't expect anybody new to know about, this ETF and natural gas and how they come out with a report every Thursday morning, and you'll see it spike or drop. Some people, I think, do a play on that they have a kind of good idea, and so they jump in with a certain amount of shares. But that, if you had your whole account wrapped up in it, I see it make $1, $2 move within seconds, literally seconds, and that can wipe you out. And you think, oh, it's going to come right back down, and it doesn't. It stays up there for a while. If not, it ends up keep going higher. It might have a little pullback and then go up even higher and keep going and running. And believe me, I know from experience, it's crazy. You see some things in the market that are abnormal, or at least you think they are, but come to find out, that happens every Thursday morning at 9:30, weekly. So with that said, I'll get off my soapbox and wrap it up. I need to get to bed. It's 2 in the market will be opening here in the next see, that's how tired I am. 6 hours, 6.5 hours. So I hope y'all have a good night, and thank y'all for y'all support as this channel grows. I know it's a little rough sometimes, my streaming. I'm new to this, but I hope that I can help save y'all some money and help y'all to learn. And I'm open to learn as well, regardless of how long you're trading, have been trading or haven't been trading. like, oh, I still believe that open-mindedness and willingness to learn, regardless of how long, if you're a new trader or not, there's always something to be learned from somebody. So with that said, thanks again for the support, and y'all have a good night, and I'll see y'all in the morning.